All right, everyone, welcome to the April 15, 2025 Health and Human Services Committee meeting. It is now 3:46 p.m. and we will start, I believe, with youth.
You, not you.
He's saying that you look young today? Is that what-
Man.
So, we were able to get the contract for the SWIMS grant signed by the chairman and sent up on March 26th. So Department of State has it. Our banquet's set for the 21st. We have 23 nominees, 12 for the Louis A. Bureau and 11 for the Richard F. Tracy. So that's, and we're going to meet tomorrow, and our youth advisory board meets tomorrow night as well. So we're going to
Decide which hearts you're going to break on the 21st.
That's the hardest part. It really is. But what I'm able to do is create a committee that I'm not on, and I have a rubric
There you go.
that, and I think it's better that way.
That means we'll see you at the next meeting.
It's just, it is, that's probably the most difficult part, is just, you bring them all in and they have all credentials for sure. But with that said, we're looking forward to it. We have our sponsor, and our invites will be going out soon for the board supervisors.
Hope to see you again.
Yeah, who's the sponsor? The Spark, Erica's Insurance, and Pharmaceutical Services.
So what are the opportunities for us on the horizon to badger our state senators and assembly people to get more money for our summer camps?
So I was going to ask you before the meeting started, how is your pickleball court coming along?
Good. What we did was we changed tax slightly, which changed a lot of things. We were apprised of a all abilities court configuration with wider alleys, deeper backcourts, ADA compliant. So we had to go all back out because why not? If you're going to build it, why wouldn't you make it accessible, as fully accessible as possible?
Right.
So we had to go back out to bid after going through state contracts and private contracts. So now we're locked in. Thursday night, I have the resolution to proceed. And it come in $60,000 over the initial budget. So the town has to throw more skin in the game, but for the popularity, the amount of community that uses that, it's well worth it. So hopefully the asphalt company's ready to go. The sealing, there's one pretty much company.
Yeah, man.
And it's
And you gotta get
tough
on
to
the
lock
list
them
now.
down. Yeah.
It took me 2 years.
I was gonna ask only because it seems like the money that we can go after from the senators or the assembly folks are tied to these.
It's more
Right.
capital projects
Right.
instead of an
It's not
annual
just- Yeah,
yeah,
so that's,
payout.
they did increase some of the YDP funding, some of the sports and teams, and some of the just sports. So there's talking a couple thousand here and there, but not
So,
substantial.
Parks just put out a grant for recreation facilities, not programs, but.
I'm applying for that.
But it's out there,
Good luck to everyone.
Yeah. Right.
Because when Chatham first applied, I didn't know there was 7 other towns that had
Yeah.
Swim
lifeguards.
programs.
Right.
I don't know if the supervisor knew that or not, but I was not made aware of that. So-
No, like my son went from 12 to 2 in a hurry. But I encourage
So you
everyone
didn't want me
to
to
apply.
publicly announce that there's more money out there, huh?
But we
If
all
you just look at a piece of recreational equipment for little kids right now,
Yeah.
it's $100,000
I know it.
for very little. So
We've got a committee to put together a list of $250,000 for a couple new pieces of equipment, crazy.
So, but anyway, I'll stay after it, and if there's anything out there, make you aware of it.
yeah, but always be nice to give a little extra boost to the summer camps, whether it's the offset registration expenses.
Yeah. Well, again, we worked at this with the commissioner for the last couple of years. If kids can't afford it, there is an avenue through social services. And what is that?
Woodstock families.
Yes, what's that thing?
Daycare.
Yeah. So there is that avenue. We've made them aware of it. So,
All right, anything for Director Grandinetti?
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you, sir.
welcome, May 21st.
I'll see you there. Commissioner Gibson.
was curious, in relation to the pavilion there, the park, where would the court be located?
So we're doing something a little risky. We're putting it near our skateboard park. So hopefully we don't have a lot of skateboarders to try to decide they want to tear up.
Yeah.
Do pickleball. So if you drive into the park, here's the skateboard park, here's a nice flat area with good drainage.
Yeah.
And here's a community kids garden, so it's gonna be right there. So we'll see what happens.
So how much more footprint did it occupy than the standard court?
So 3 up was gonna be 96, that's what we're in for 3 courts, 96 by 64. It went down to 84 by 77. So
It got smaller.
not much narrower, but much deeper.
I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting to order for April 15th, 2025. First up, we have probation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First thing I'm looking is authorization to accept the grant, New York State and Keystone.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And if everybody had a chance to review our annual report, if there's any questions, concerns, status updates,
Anyone have
here
any
they answer
questions?
any questions.
Looks good. Report.
Very good.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Next up, we have emergency management.
Good afternoon. No resolution requests. I can answer any questions on the annual report we submitted last month, if anybody has any. One new thing is that recently we were involved in an exercise that included the Sagandaga Lake Dam. And it looks like, I'm going to be sending an email out to all the towns along the river. It looks like they had a catastrophic failure of that dam. It would affect below the locks, probably down to Orange and Dutchess at least. So I don't think it would cause a lot of damage here, but just I would let everybody know. We're going to I talked to the fire coordinator. We're going to let the fire chiefs know on the river.
What are they thinking? Water level rise?
Well,
Is that,
it's weird because, not weird, but the engineers feel that depending on weather conditions, if it rains for 3 days, it's actually going to pick up water as it comes down through
right?
600,000, whatever, however they measure water, the volume. It picks up water on the way down. That would most likely flood the railroad tracks and inland somewhat, come up through the streams that feed the river. If it was perfect weather like today, then you're talking half that. So it probably would, there's a chance it would flood the train tracks, but probably not much more of that. The city of Hudson, I talked to that DPW commissioner in the past, and he's pretty much aware of what would flood and what wouldn't, based on what's happened in the past. This would have to be a catastrophic event.
Yeah, I mean.
Something
it's-
catastrophic.
It's just bust loose.
Yeah, I mean, they used the example of a terrorist blowing up the dam.
Right.
But it was interesting. I never would have thought that it would have affected us.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
both my parks would be going.
well, yeah.
They're on the other,
Yeah,
they're on the other side of the
yeah.
railroad track, so they'd be underwater at least for a while.
You're right.
One house.
Yeah, probably both, in both situations.
Wow.
So, anyway, I'll be sending an email out to everybody.
I have a question about what's it called, like the emergency management plan that all the towns contributed to? The hazmat plan?
Oh, yeah, the hazard mitigation plan that
Yeah.
the public review and comment section is up as of, what's today? The
Today.
15th, as of today is the last day. After this, the consulting engineering company that, we have doing it, will do a final draft. We've already submitted 2 drafts to New York State. They've looked it over. They don't see a major problem with it. And after today, they'll add any comments. We didn't get any comments by phone or by email. County didn't. We had interest in it. People wanted to make sure they got there, look at it and all that, but we didn't get any comments. So based on what they may not have gotten, it may change, it may not. They are going to ask them to add a guideline actual steps to apply for the hazard mitigation grant program. So 2 years down the line, if somebody different picks it up, it at least gives them an idea where they can go to get help. But it's moving along, and then after this, I'll bring it to the committee for the chairman to sign it, approve it, and that'll be next month, hopefully everything goes right. And we'll move forward from there. It has to go, New York State has to approve it, and FEMA has to approve it, so, that does take depending on how busy they are and what's going on there, it may take a significant amount of time.
Well, congratulations. It's like a giant document, super important. So
Yeah, there's a lot of good information and a lot of good updated information, and we're happy so far with the engineering company too that was working on it. So, and all the towns, it's been there's volunteers on through to paid people working on it. So there's all kinds of different people working on it. It's a big 5-year update. It's a lot of work and a lot of information to. So I'm just glad that the majority and I think all the towns have been able to do what they can.
Can I give you one comment, not to the process, but right now? There's a place where you list all the people who contributed, which is great. And I think a lot of them, they're listed as Hudson, but they actually live in like Vibert or Greenport. So it's probably worth either I think it says town and changing like the town to address, or like double checking.
Is that their home address or the town that they work?
I think there's a lot of people who work for an organization that is actually or represents Cloudbreak or Greenport or a business.
I'll look at it and see if they
people
can do it.
often describe an address as Hudson, but they live in some other place. Well, that might be worth describing that, either to just make it clear that those towns are represented, or
I can pass that on and see if they can do that. Believe it or not, everything they ask, well, it's true, so believe it. Everything, all the information they ask for is what's required by New York State. New York State has to make sure it's right before it goes to FEMA, or FEMA gets upset. With New York State. So anyway, everything they do, every piece of, and it's changed from the last time.
Right.
I'm sure you've read it, you read the old one, the information has changed on what they're requiring. Sometimes because of climate change, for some other reasons, but I'll pass that on and see if there's something they can do, or how that information was grabbed. And if somebody wrote that down and submitted it, they may not be able to change that, but you might be able to put a sentence though that says, Hudson doesn't mean that you live in the city of Hudson. It could be an address.
Yeah, I mean, it's mailing address with Livingston, Clobber.
Yeah, it's a common thing that comes
Oh,
up.
Hudson, yeah.
Yeah, no Republicans from Hudson.
12534 zip is a
Big zip code.
Yeah.
Brenda?
David, we just understood that we have to do a flood management survey, floodplain management survey.
Yeah,
And we just
that's
done the-
required.
We've just done the climate adaptation thing. Now we've done the emergency management thing, and now it looks like it's another layer on top of that.
Is that what they're saying that you have to do?
Yeah.
I knew that it was suggested.
I'll check, I'll read
Yeah,
the
check and
language,
see.
but it seems to me that we're to update the floodplains after we've just gone
You
through
just
this
did
exercise
it.
twice.
And they know, and actually they brought in a lot of information. We put them out there for now, and they were very happy with what they did. So
Okay.
all that information.
Might be satisfied by one of these two reports. Okay, thank you.
Anything else, sir? Eric Harrison? Thanks, sir. Next up, we have 911.
Nobody's here. From
Nobody's
911.
here?
I think you were handling it.
Guess that's me. All right, we have one resolution request for authorization to extend the hazard mitigation grant for 1 year.
Second.
I have motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. I get this one too?
It should be not that one. What is that one? That's the one you just did.
Oh, that's that one.
Yeah,
I
we
was
just
gonna
need
say,
a
I gotta find somewhere.
And then the next one is authorization to contract for training and monitoring in the 911 department. As everyone knows, Rob Loop has retired. Effective today? No, effective the 19th. I think this is Anyway, they're looking to, contract with him to be sure that the 911 center continues smooth sailing in the transition of the new director.
Second.
A motion and a second. Questions for the discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Sign this one right now.
You don't have to sign it. No, it's
I like that.
already typed up.
Sign
so
my name.
it's-
This is backwards, you have to count here.
That's all right. I'll
I'm
figure it
making a
out.
mess,
Don't worry
Kelly, I'm
about it. I
sorry.
know. Rob wouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I'm only deputy, you know? Hey, what do you want? All right, so
EMS.
next up, we have EMS. Wheeler, how are you, sir?
I'd be like Rob and say, good evening.
Good evening.
Even though he's not here. I just have one resolution request. That's to enter into a contract with the Columbia County Agricultural Society, AKA the Chatham Fair, for CCEMS to assist Chatham Rescue Squad for coverage during the fair this year. We've been working with Chatham Rescue Squad, actually reached out to us last fall. It's gotten a little bigger than what they can handle as one agency and requested assistance. So we've been working with the Eric Barnes from the fair and Chatham Rescue, and they've requested assistance. We're working with the state to actually find out what the minimum requirements are, so on and so forth. And so the agencies and CCMS will be assisting this year, provided we can get a contract with the Agricultural Society.
So tell me more. I always assumed that this would just happen automatically. So seems like a great thing to support.
Yeah.
Do they pay that county or they pay Chatham to provide this service?
Yes,
like
they
that's
do.
like part of the revenue.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
not enough.
clarification, I think the 5 towns that have been paying for Chatham Rescue Squad have paid for the fair services. And in the last 12 to 18 months, we now have worked out a separate billing cycle, but our 5 towns have been paying for the rescue squads at the fair grounds. So that's being corrected in this cycle.
Oh, so this is the first time.
It's either the first or second year. I think we caught up with it last year, but we're moving forward with a better policy.
Yeah. That is that.
Thank you.
I'll move it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Just an FYI for the committee, our stress team did a debriefing Sunday night for Prairieville and Hillsdale Fire Department, and Sheriff's Department came. Thank you for sending them in because it filled in a lot of voids. It's well received, and the purpose of our stress team debriefings is help try to keep everybody in emergency services and try to prevent PTSD. And so it's just an FYI. The other FYI, last month I did present some of the financial conditions for the rescue squads in the county. And I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but actually Greene County is going through the same thing.